representation. So to see that, and then to be here now and to hear your story, and to feel your energy,
Yeah.
I think is very important, because the old, and you've been him, and
Mm-hmm.
I've been him.
Yep.
That old badass motherfucker, that motherfucker that wouldn't, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a fucking G, fuck you. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
seriously, I
Yeah.
will die. I will die. You will kill me, or I will, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that level of, to let go of that,
Yeah.
dude,
Ooh.
dude. Like, no, I'm serious. Like, I don't even know what that means. So how could the feminine part of me know what that means? That's what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And it's both um, intriguing,
Yeah.
but fucking scary.
Yeah.
But I know that's where the power is,
No
because
doubt.
and the reason I know that is because it feels like the biggest fucking shadow. And as goes the individual, so goes the collective. Right?
Most definitely.
Yeah. Thank you
And
for letting me speak.
that no, you're good. That was an expression of it's almost like knighting oneself when you release that level of fear, like the internal stuff, like the internal blockage or fear that's there, like defense, if you will, because that's come on. You talk. I just met up with a Marine earlier. I supported them downrange. I was in Kosovo and Macedonia, Bosnia with those guys. They're shooting up the place. I understand the energy. It's just that at the same time, there is a hint of fear there.
Mm.
There's a lot of fear. There's a seed of fear there, and the only way to reconcile it is to find it, to observe it, to accept it, to acknowledge it. Yeah, of course. Come on, everybody. We all of us can kill. We have the physical strength to do so very easily. But then, where's the root? Where's the root? Where? What's the root of the preparation? What's the root of the projection? What's the root of um, the the cultivation of that energy? What are we preparing for? And at the root of that, there's a preparation for a problem when strength, or at least the divine masculine, acknowledges the omnipotence of oneself, where I could truly be a danger to all life.
Mm.
But of course, with that comes the responsibility as a guardian of the whole, including myself.
Dude, let me ask you. Well, let me admit something first, and then ask you.
Yeah.
So I've been blessed, graced with being reunited with Morgan.
Wow.
37 months, 38 months, um, before we shared the same bed. Because the first 33 days we
Yeah.
had to meet in a park. I don't know if I told you about that.
Hey, sure ain't there, baby.
But so I would say that the last 7, 8 months have been the most extraordinary of my life. And at the same time, I've had to acknowledge moments where I just wanted to leave.
Yeah.
And I don't mean like the old way we talked about it. I mean, like, fuck this. Like, the intelligence of the conversation is so high.
Yeah.
And it comes back to choice.
Yeah.
And I want to be here. I want to see what happens. I'm
Yeah.
63 now, dude. I ain't got my hair's falling out.
Yeah.
I look at these old videos pop up now and then. Who the hell is that? But I really feel like that there's like this unknown territory that we're entering. I think we've done it with the feminine.
Yeah.
We've been graced with people like you, who's a living example.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
it's your masculine is, but to be able to like ease into that, like, right? So is that what it is? I mean, is that really the last obstacle is for our masculine energy as an individual goes, so as a collective, to truly embrace that feminine.
Hmm. Most definitely. It's it's to be, and I'm gonna use a metaphor because it just feels right to me.
Mm,
It's to be to be man enough to put your guard down,
mm,
put your arms down, stop. Um, there was a thing like in football. There was a drill where it was necessary. Like, of course, there was somebody to hit you, but there was a drill where it was necessary. Like, it was necessary to accept the hit,
right.
but not anticipate it. To not like try to brace yourself or put your guard up or
Yeah.
block yourself
Yeah.
from a hit. It was an act of vulnerability.
Was that the one where they had a circle and you'd be in the center?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, no
Dude,
doubt.
like that's such a good example, Bill, because I played football. A lot of us played football, but like in junior high, when you were like coming up, we went through some. And if you think about the energetics of it, we went through some ferocious shit.
Yeah,
I mean, like that's some. That's like like I remember on a kickoff, we had a kickoff right in a game, and I start running down the field. I'm in what, eighth grade, so I'm like 5'9", 120, something like that.
yep,
There's this dude's about 6'4".
yeah,
He's like about, he's pushing 180, 190 and shit. And I run right by that motherfucker. And it was like a do over.
yeah.
So they're like, blow the whistle. Oh, you gotta do it again. I'm running back, and my coach is like, Coach Brown, man, I love you, man. He's like, you better not do that again. You better hit him.
Yeah.
Dude, I flew off that thing. I went right at him. I hit him so fucking hard. I hit him because he was a brick. He was like a fucking brick wall. I hit him. I popped back, 10 feet back, flat on my back, and out. Next thing I know, they're putting the smelling salts in.
Yeah.
But I feel like that, speaking, metaphorically, energetically, these things that happen and imprinted us and all that stuff, but maybe our feminine doesn't know it.
Yeah.
That's the type of shit it was. And that's nothing compared to what you and many of others have, and some friends of mine in Afghanistan, Iraq, and that. I mean, that's on par with what you just went through this past summer.
Hmm.
And before, really.
Most definitely. Well, just because it's the acceptance of it all,
Mm.
and for some reason, I feel like the acceptance of it all allows you to gracefully receive the tools in which to rebuild, because you don't get in the way. It could easily flow past you. It could be an easy stream of information, of experience, but it's our own resistance, our own pushing against the water that makes once again, the ride a little more rougher, or it delays how smooth the transition could be.
Mm.
That was basically the demonstration of me not losing my cool. Once again, me I'm getting out of the hospital and not seeing my car in the parking space. Of course, it's around the street. It's just, can you be cool and like, stay calm in the situation, knowing that this is your story? Because that's where the amnesia comes in. The amnesia leads to the insanity.
Mm.
This is your story. Of course, if you don't know that, then of course you're going to freak out and get mad and throw a temper tantrum and muddy up the waters. But if you recognize it's your story and it's like, okay, my car's not here, and look around, look to your left, look to your right, here's a person. He knows where he has the information for me, but it was only necessary for me to demonstrate the intelligence,
Mm.
the emotional intelligence in which to acknowledge my story.
Right.
There's always a way forward, just like a video game, or you get to a part where you're stuck. There has to be a way forward. So you start looking with your character and trying to figure things out. A lot of people get to that dead end, if you will, and lose it.
Mm, yeah.
No, this is your story. You're disconnected from the intelligence that's aware that this story is for you. There has to be a way forward.
Yeah.
There is a way forward. Just at the moment you don't recognize it. If you calm down, you connect with, once again, like pausing the game. You get to look at the map, see where you are on the board. Did you go the right way? Do you have the right tools? Do you have the right energy, or what have you, to move forward? And of course, you always do. But you
Yeah.
have to be calm enough to acknowledge that. Someone wrote "No Ego" for their 2025 vision board. I'll say to that. Um, Once again, it's not that we're trying to get rid of the ego.
Right.
We're coming to a place of maturity to work alongside the ego. It's just that our maturity is in not allowing the ego to drive.
Yeah.
It's gotten to sit in the passenger seat. There's another driver, but you're going along for the ride. And yes, you're supposed to participate. Your ego is supposed to see this.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, I dig that.
supposed to see this. Don't
And
go,
it's,
don't get rid of it.
in addition to that, it's actually very beneficial. It's kind of like you're driving down the road and your ego's the one that goes, "Who the fuck you think you are? Don't do that."
You're supposed to be there because sometimes it can be insightful and you're supposed to use it along with your personality. It's just that at the same time, there's a deeper source of awareness that knows what's the most mature and aligned. It's just that your maturity um, as the main character is in acknowledging all aspects of this. It's just toolbox. The ego got something to say. The emotional body got something to say. The intuitive presence has something to say. Take all the information and take your best shot. What's the best decision?